Okay. Okay, so
Perfect.
going back, so let's just assume we added that carrier. He
Mm,
drives his own truck.
mm.
You do not have to add him as a driver, which would be right
Okay.
here. So when you add a driver, there's a little bit of segregation. Like that driver will have their own login, but they can only see like the loads that they are in process and loads that they've
Mhm.
completed and, training videos, things like that. They can't see everything that that carrier is doing from a load standpoint. It's none of their business, right? Now, they can do check calls, ETA updates through their side of the platform, which sends a notification, an email, a very detailed email to the broker, to you as the admin. Everyone will be aware of what's going on during the load. And we found that this has really helped cut down on what I like to call broker nagging, where their brokers constantly blowing up the driver. Hey, where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, Now, if they have to accept macro point, well, the driver has to accept macro points. So there's just no way around that. But it's a very proactive way of, limiting the check calls that the brokers constantly call the drivers about, right?
Mm.
Because it's really frustrating. So anyway,
Right.
I'm going to just kind of go back to the life cycle so you understand how the platform works. So
Mm.
when you add a new load, the load is built
Mm.
out by the dispatcher, right?
Mhm.
Notifications are sent to all parties of the load, including the broker, providing you put
Mhm.
the email address in for the broker. Now, you don't
Mhm.
have to, but the point of the system is to help with communication, and brokers
Mm.
absolutely love this software. Uh,
Okay.
so notifications, so the load's added, notification of the load being added to the platform is sent out to the broker. They're like, all right, cool.
Also the driver, right?
Yeah, yeah. The driver will get an email of their new load information. We can integrate text capabilities for the driver. That is an additional cost for SMS texting. And it would
Mhm.
be a short text message saying, hey, driver, such and such name. You have a new load in the portal, and there'll be a
Mhm.
hyperlink that takes them to your platform. And they can save their login credentials in their
Mm.
browser, right? So they just log in, they'll go to their new loads in transit, and then they
Mhm.
can make check calls, ETA updates, etc. And I'll show you what that looks like here shortly. So
Perfect.
driver sees load details in the platform. He can set an ETA. He can also make a check call, which grabs the exact location of where the driver is and a date and time stamp of where that took place. So, and it's also very good for detention check calls. We have detention check calls in here because a lot of times these brokers will say, "Well, your driver showed up late." And your comment to them is, no, he made a check call as soon as he arrived. Please check
Mhm.
your emails because there'll be an email exchange of him making that first check call when he arrived to the receiver or shipper or whatever. So uh,
Right.
anyway, so the driver or carrier can upload PODs, the completion documents in the
Mhm.
system. And of course, all that goes to the broker as well. And
Mhm.
everything resides in the cloud back in your platform, right?
Right.
So all your load information, I'm going to my main turbo dash. I'm going to the all line hauls. So I come down here and I see everything. This is all line hauls. So all of this is everything, all
Mhm.
loads that are just booked. Booked
Mhm.
loads are loads that your team has booked, but the driver or carrier has not yet picked it up, because a lot of times brokers will cancel a load before the driver even gets there, as you know,
Right.
right? So when a load is added to the platform, it will automatically go to a booked only status. Now, the driver has not yet received any load information because it's only in a booked status. Now, if you go to update a booked load to a in transit, type your initials, hit submit. Now it's going to trigger an email to that driver with the load information.
Right.
Okay, um, so yeah, we have in transit loads, and again, you can click in here. So this is first come, first serve. Yes or
Mhm.
no. We have no or NA, or first come, first serve at the shipper or receiver. You can check the ones that apply or don't apply. Um, anytime a load, see how these are green with a check
Mm-hmm.
mark and a clock? That means either the dispatcher has confirmed from the driver the actual ETA, like what is the realistic time of the driver arriving to pick up or drop off the load. So
Mm-hmm.
either party has made that change. So it's turned. So if I go to look at one of these, see how it's just yellow?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has been entered yet by the driver or dispatcher. So as soon as
Right.
it's been updated, then it's going to change with the check mark in green. Okay. And then
Perfect.
we have completed loads, etc. Um, so it's pretty cool, and you show your rate per miles and all that. When a load's
Mm-hmm.
completed, we can send you can send to factoring. If there's an email, an invoicing email for factoring, you
Mm-hmm.
either have the drop downs options, which you can build out in your platform under the factoring.
Right.
You add factoring, and you can start adding all your factoring partners here and the
Mm-hmm.
email for invoicing. Sorry, I'm just jumping around. It's,
No worries.
there's a lot. There's a lot more.
I'm getting to know the software. I'm getting a bit familiar.
Yeah, it's really straightforward to use, and we've tried to make it as easy as possible. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so going back to the send, once the load's completed, you can either use the options that you've added to the platform, or you
Mm-hmm.
can just paste the email address in there, and
Mm-hmm.
they're going to get a detailed email from you with all the load documents, whatever's in the system when you
Mm-hmm.
submit it
Right.
for invoicing. So, um, another cool feature is if I go to all carriers, here are the carriers in the demo platform. So let's
Mm-hmm.
say you negotiate a rate with a broker and they
Mm-hmm.
send you one of those big PDF packets that you have to read and sign and fill out on behalf of the carrier. So you
Mm-hmm.
sign that document, it's sitting on your desktop of your computer. I need to onboard that carrier, okay, with that broker. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to browse on my computer for that file that I signed, that PDF file that I signed and completed, and I'm going to paste the email address of the broker who awarded me that load
Mm-hmm.
right here. And I simply hit submit, and it's going to pull all the documents for that carrier profile out of your platform along with that broker onboarding agreement to the broker in a nice email. So they'll have all the critical documents, COI. We don't have any documents in here, so you don't see them, but if there were, you'd see them here. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
all that goes to the broker. And then of course, if it's an electronic onboarding, then obviously that's easier. But um, here we have an ask dispatch.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I'm going to go to Smart Views attrition signal.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of cool right now because I haven't updated this in our dummy data. But if you
Mm-hmm.
saw anything in red, like in this column, red or yellow or green or blue, it's going to
Mm-hmm.
tell me that if it was red, that carrier has not been dispatched in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And this is the problem dispatchers have because, you have them for a week and then they disappear,
Mm-hmm.
they ghost you,
Yes,
you never
right.
hear from them. So this allows you as an admin to like, hey, when was the last time that carrier's been dispatched? And you see 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to reach out to your dispatcher. Hey, what's going on? Are they on vacation? Is their truck down for maintenance or whatever? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's really, really helpful to track.
Yeah, very,
Um,
very helpful.
yeah. And then we have a pre-book tracker, which is very similar. So these have all turned blue because it's
Mm-hmm.
past the delivery date. See, it's 8/5, so obviously we're
Mm-hmm.
several days past. So I'm going to make one of these for today,
Mm-hmm.
submit, and it's going to turn red. I'm going to make this one for tomorrow. It's going to turn yellow. I'm going to make this
Mm-hmm.
one for the day after tomorrow. Let's just say Saturday, and it's green. So you as the admin, when you come in here and see the pre-book tracker, this
Mm-hmm.
is going to tell you, hey, I know I've got so many loads that are red. Do the dispatchers have these carriers pre-booked? So I want to know that they've got them pre-booked or not. Yellow tells me, well, it's tomorrow, so we have some time. And green, like you have plenty of time to pre-book. Blue is telling me as an admin, one of two things. Either the dispatcher forgot to close the loadout because it's still basically showing in transit. Anything in
Mm-hmm.
here is in transit, right? So if it's blue, either the dispatcher forgot to close it out or the driver, or maybe it's running behind schedule, right? But somebody has
Right.
not updated. So the point is, if it's blue, it's either still in transit or somebody forgot to complete it. And if it hasn't been
Yeah.
completed, it will not show up in your carrier invoicing module down here in completed line hauls. Only loads completed, you
We'll
will
show
only be
here.
able to invoice for those, right?
Right. Right.
So it's a quick way for you to like figure out the status of your active loads.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, Now some of this like we have a broker module and this is only for brokers, so this won't be on your platform. So, but
Right.
you have a broker module. So you have carrier invoicing, you have archived invoices because as you start building out invoices, they're going to start stacking up here. And
Mm-hmm.
after several weeks, you're going to get really irritated of like how many loads are here, and it's very distracting. So you would just
Mm-hmm.
simply archive by coming here and archive that invoice, and it just went to the
Mm-hmm.
archived section over here. I just put one of them over here, and of course
Right.
you can unarchive it. You just come here, go no, hit submit, and now it's going to come back in with your main invoices here.
Mm.
Okay. Um, so so as far as what an invoice looks like, how do you invoice your carriers? Do you make them
Right
pay?
now we are using Zero.
Oh, okay.
Xero.
Okay. So what you can do, we can do full integration, but it is kind of expensive. So that's something
Mm-hmm.
that can be done at a later date. Any
Mm-hmm.
modifications can be done whenever. So we
Right.
grow with your company. But in
Mm.
your case, do you have a payment URL that you would send your carrier to pay a link?
No, we add our bank details at the end of the invoice.
Okay, well, if you have a payment link like PayPal or Stripe, you can paste it here and put a note.
Yeah.
In the carrier
Yeah,
dashboard,
we are thinking about having a Stripe account. So maybe we'll start putting the link for Stripe.
okay. Yeah, and just so you know, I don't know a lot of details about this, but I've heard when
Mm-hmm.
you sign up for Stripe, they hold back a certain percentage of
Yes,
your money. So
1.5%.
just be cautious of that. That would kind of bother me. So,
Yeah, right. Zelle is another way to get paid, but bank transfer is more suitable for us for now. There are no charges on bank transfer. So
okay. Yeah. So, well, if you come on, we'll just kind of have to figure out how you want to do it. But anything
perfect.
you put in here is
Mm-hmm.
the all invoices show up on the carrier dashboard. So when they log in, they have an invoice tab and they can see all their invoices and they can pay them from there. But
Mm-hmm.
we can just kind of cross that bridge if it comes, how you want to do that.
Right.
So you have the way to weekly
So
invoice.
invoice will be created automatically from the completed loads, right?
It's not automatic. So you'd have to come here. You'd have
Right.
to create a new invoice, right? So let's say for today,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the carrier is, right? We'll just use this one. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
select dispatcher. It's not necessary, but you hit submit,
Mm-hmm.
and here's what's going to happen. So now we have this new invoice
Mm-hmm.
ID 34 we just created. There's no
Mm-hmm.
line hauls attached to it because we haven't told it anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to come down here and I'm just going to switch some of these IDs out to invoice 34 and we're going to
Mm-hmm.
you'll start seeing loads appear here. So
Right.
I'm going to I'm going to reassign that one to invoice 34.
Mm-hmm. So this one is the completed line hold or completed
That,
load, right?
yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
So I'm
Let's
going
just say I'm sitting on a Saturday or Friday evening and making invoices for this. We got this trucking LLC. I'll just create a invoice and then link those loads with the invoice.
That's correct. So now you can see on invoice ID 34, I
Mm-hmm.
attached two line hauls to it. I can go here to build And the reason it says build, you have the ability, we also offer API integration to create a nice PDF, which
Mm-hmm.
would be, the invoice that comes out to the carrier if you need a
Right.
PDF, but that's an additional $25 a month to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, the carrier will have all the invoice information on their dashboard. They just won't have a nice fancy PDF unless you want that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to come here back to where I said, and again, you can paste a link here if you get to that point, but this is what the carrier sees. They see all this information. They see all
Mm-hmm.
the line hauls associated with the invoice and the total amount to the dispatch company,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's what they see.
Right. So $25 per month for and all the invoices, right? It's
To
just a
to
one
get
time.
the actual PDF document version. But
Perfect.
if you want to go just
But
electronic,
let's just say I'm making 100 invoices per month. That would be only $25 per month, right?
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's correct. Mhm.
Perfect. Mhm. It's not per invoice, right?
Right.
Right.
No,
Oh,
definitely not per invoice. No way.
yeah, that would
Um,
be really high.
so another feature, and we can touch more on this later, but I'm just trying to go over some of the key features.
Mm-hmm.
So you have carrier onboarding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is all electronic. So I assume when you talk, let's kind of go from a sales standpoint and we'll work it this way. So stand by. You have your sales pipeline. So
Mm-hmm.
you as the admin have your sales pipeline and your dispatchers also have a pipeline. If you have your
Mm-hmm.
dispatchers, doing sales, I don't know if you do. We can hide
Yeah.
that tab on their side. It doesn't matter. We can hide it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but you would come here, for example, you would be on the phone with a prospective carrier you're talking to. You would fill out as much information, in real time as you
Mm-hmm.
can, especially their email, critically,
Mm-hmm.
and fill that out. And then you add them and they're here in your pipeline. So
Right.
I can go and view the contact. I can add a note. All the notes start line by line added here.
Mm-hmm.
I can add note, hit submit, and I go back and now I forget which one I was actually on here. I wasn't on that one. I gotta remember which load I was on or which contact I was on. Here it was.
Mm-hmm.
There's your name I just popped in.
Mm-hmm.
I can send an email straight from here, put the subject line, put a message, hit submit,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna send right to whatever the email address is here automatically, right?
Right.
I can edit that contact, maybe something's changed. You can put their interest level if you want, whatever you
Mm.
need, trailer types and stuff like that.
Right.
Uh, and then going back now, just a second here, sales tools pipeline, server dash. Trying to remember. Okay, so carrier agreement. So my point was, so after you've gotten like that call in with that prospective customer, you
Mm-hmm.
probably have an email that you send out like it was great speaking with you. If you'd like to sign up, here's how to do it. So
Right.
this here, you can right click on and copy that link and keep that in a like boilerplate email that you send out to every prospective customer you talk to. But when
Mm-hmm.
you click on that link, it's going to take them here. This will be your unique link. So
Right.
you can use our carrier agreement, or you can put your own in, or you can send us your
Mm-hmm.
agreement and we'll put it in for you and put the logo
Right.
for you. But the carrier will get this. They'll fill out all their information, right? Age of authority. Brokers are really difficult right now. They're not working with
Mm-hmm.
some carriers unless they're like 60 or 90 days in it, or even
Yes.
six.
Right. Even 6 months.
It's crazy
Right.
because they're trying to kick
New
a lot of
MC new
trucks off.
MC drivers are really it's really very hard to get loads for them, you know.
Yeah, it's hopefully it's going to change soon. But anyway, they can attach their documents,
Mm-hmm.
right? Do you have more documents? Yes or no? And then of course I need to change this, but yeah, so they can attach any other documents. They can sign it electronically here, hit submit. And what's going to happen is I got to go back here. It's going to come into your submissions. So these are all your submissions of the carriers that have submitted their documents, right?
Right.
You can go here, view, see their signature. And of course, if there were documents here, you would see them. We just don't have them here right
Mm,
now.
right.
We also have payment authorizations. There's a link we can set up for you so where they can submit credit card
Mm-hmm.
authorizations. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, let's see what else. Drivers, trucks. Oh, check calls. So this is like your check call map. When
Mm-hmm.
drivers make check calls on loads that are in transit already, it'll show up on your map, right? So you'll have all these little pins from if your drivers are making check calls. Now, some dispatch companies who are subscribed to us, they don't really use all that. They
Mm-hmm.
just strictly use it for managing their loads internally, because some drivers and carriers do not like working with technology. So
Right.
some will use it, some won't. So um, sales tools, pipeline, uh, training for your dispatchers.
Mm-hmm.
We've included hours and hours of our dispatch training modules.
Mm-hmm.
Do as a dispatcher. Find smart load using spot market and broker load boards.
So it goes through all the training. We have hours of videos here. Load securement, types of trailers, what is the ELD, hours of service.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Is all included in the training, right? I
yes,
mean,
sir.
training.
So on the dispatcher side, they'll have a similar a resource tab that will
Mm-hmm.
have training. And they
Right.
will, whatever video that you have tagged as a
Mm-hmm.
dispatcher, they will see. Whatever
Right.
video you have set as a driver, they
Mm-hmm.
will see. Maybe you have something you want drivers to see, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can put your video title, the length of the video, just so they know. And then you can have URLs, maybe to it's a YouTube, a YouTube video or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be here for them, right? And
Right.
you can edit that if you need or delete it entirely.
Perfect.
Um, account cleaning. Let's say you have dispatchers that are no longer with you. You want to delete them entirely, or a carrier. You can filter them out by user roles. If you want. So driver, I can filter them out.
Mm-hmm.
I can make this so you can so you can click in here and change it from active to inactive instead of deleting them entirely. If you make somebody inactive, they can no longer log in to your platform. But maybe they come back and you just put them back to active again instead of deleting them. That's up to you how you want to do that.
Right.
But it just allows you to, clean out uh, access, if you will.
Okay.
Here's your admin profile. So your information would be here, your company address. Um, whatever you have here on the
Mm-hmm.
admin side is what's going to show up on your invoices, right? So
Perfect.
just remember, you may not want to put like the actual street address. Maybe you just want to put like city, state, or whatever you want. But just remember, whatever's here will be on the invoice, and you
Invoice.
can
Right.
edit that. You can, remove and change your logo and all that. So, um, yeah, company financials. You can see revenue by week.
Mm-hmm. This would be connected with the bank account, or it would be
No,
just
this is all only the platform. This is in no
okay.
way connected to your financial institution.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So just would be connected to the invoice accounting module.
Yeah, and this is for you as the owner of your company or admin to be able to see what dispatchers are doing what, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
by trailer types,
Mm-hmm.
by dispatcher, and then we have even further information, revenue matrix, set
Mm-hmm.
dispatcher commission rate. So do you pay your dispatchers a percent or a flat rate?
Percentage wise, some are on 5%, some are on 3%, some are on 8 or 6%. Different vehicles, different percentage.
Okay, so here in the dispatchers, you can see the commission rate, right? So you can
Mm-hmm.
set that whatever you need, of course. So This is set at 3%. So when you add 3%, it's got to be 0.03, right? 5%, 0.05, of course, right?
Right.
So
So
for,
this is what we are going to for dispatchers, right?
yeah, so you can track.
Okay. Is there any facility where we can set up a percentage for carriers?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So hang on, I'll show you that. Yeah. So you have one of two ways. So I'm on the add new line haul page. So here we have 4 steps, protect your trucking company from double brokering, because we all know that's a big problem. And
Yeah.
this information, if you do not want your dispatcher to see this, we can remove this. That's super easy for us to remove, but most people find it pretty useful, even though you have to scroll down here a little bit to get to the actual load entry point.
Hmm.
Another thing I want to bring up to you, if you're an admin, if you want to dispatch as well, you will need to add yourself as a dispatcher with an alternate
Dispatcher.
email than the one that you were set up with as an admin on the platform. So you would just come here, add yourself as a dispatcher, but with a different email address. You put your first, last name, you're probably not paying yourself, so you can just leave that blank and, set all this up. But going back to adding a new load, so we come down here. Let's just say you already added yourself. We'll just say you're Johnny Anderson right now instead of JJ. You would select the carrier. You put up the pickup date. You put the time. We can make this military time if you prefer, or conventional time. That's up to you. You just have to let us know.
Right.
Trailer type. Now, from the admin side, we can allow you to create your own options. There'd be a little plus button here, or we can add, if there's something that's not here already, we can add it for you, but you should probably be okay for now.
Right.
So you can add the percent charge to the carrier in this step if you'd like, or it's hard coded in the carrier profile. And then we also have variable dispatcher commission, which you can add your own options here if you want, and we can delete the ones that are already in here, right? Because maybe you don't use these. So we can clear anything out to start fresh if you need. You just have to let us know. But variable dispatch commission is if, let's say you have a carrier that has 2 dry vans and a hot shot. Well, you charge, 6% for a dry van and maybe 8% for a hot shot. Well, that dispatcher may get paid more for a hot shot. So this is where the variable commission comes in, which you can add those options if you want, but that'll track variable commission for the dispatcher, so they get that additional money when you go to the dispatcher payroll. So here we have dispatcher payroll. Here's the table. Here's the set dispatcher commission rate, which you set under the dispatcher's profile, right? So this is everything that's a fixed percentage, like 5%, like you mentioned before. So that would all be here. The dispatcher payroll that's variable, anything selected variable will show up here. And then of course, you create a new payroll statement like you add a new invoice for your carriers. So you come up here, create a new payroll, you select the dispatcher, the payroll date from and to, submit. That would show up down here on this in this section, add line hauls to payroll. So I'm going to come here, whatever line haul, select the payroll ID, boom, and it's going to start adding up. I mean, there's a lot of features in here, so it's hard to like condense this enough, because we could go into the dispatcher side, which is similar to this, but they don't have, they don't have admin, they don't have, they have their pipeline, but they don't see a lot of what's going on, in what you see. We have stats, dispatcher active carriers. Shows you how many trucks they have, carriers and trucks. They'll start adding up here. there's no
Mm.
information here because we haven't been adding new loads in here, but that would all show up as well. Carrier
Perfect.
stats, carrier weekly revenue, and of course the carriers on their dashboard, they have all of the stats for their trucking company on their side as well.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. You don't have to like give that to them because it's already automatically generated,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, so there's like you can do maintenance or the carrier can do maintenance. You can add trucks and trailers. This would only be if like your carrier is asking you to manage, maintenance and tracking all the documents on their trucks and stuff. But the carrier has this same thing on their side of the platform where they can go here, add a new truck and trailer, all the information. There's fleet options as well. They can add all their ELD information, pre-pass, fuel cards. Um, it's pretty involved. Then,
Yeah.
you can add maintenance if they want to track maintenance,
Mm-hmm.
entry date, the drop off date where you're going to drop the truck at the service center, whatever carrier, all that information. It's all there. So calendar. But yeah, so that's kind of the short version. So,
But it's you have thought of everything.
so when you log out, just to show you, this
Mm-hmm.
our logo will remain here, but your logo will be here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have a website, but typically we'll take kind of your website colors and make this red kind of match, we'll make it look nice. So when you log in, it's really kind of personalized for you.
Yep.
Um, and again, all the notifications that come out are all branded to your company. Your logo will also be here as well.
Perfect.
And then on our website, we have tutorials. So we don't have full videos for every section in the platform, but we have a quick start that helps walk you through.
Guide Turbo Dispatcher. From the main home screen, you need to click on the Turbo Dash tab, which will be the primary page you work from. Across the top of the page,
Mm.
you have the following options: add line haul, dispatchers, all carriers,
So
all drivers.
you'll have
trucks,
that,
all
and
line haul.
then we provide one-on-one training. So once you're all set up, you've kind of gotten a little bit familiar with how to navigate. Then you
Mm-hmm.
send us an email, say, hey, Jay, I'd like to schedule a tutorial or training session with my team, and we'll all
Mm.
jump on Zoom and we'll just go through like the process and answer questions and walk you through any questions you have.
Perfect. Seems really good.
So, and then as far as signing up, you would come here if you want the X edition. You've
Mm-hmm.
already done the demo, but you would just go to purchase here. And it's going to show this. This is what you would pay today out of pocket, right? Up front.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you
Right.
want PDF invoicing, you can either do that now or you can do that later, and we'll send you the link if you want to add that at a later date. Totally fine. So let's assume you signed up today, right?
Mm-hmm.
30 days from now, you would automatically be charged on your credit card $99 per month.
Mm.
You know,
Okay. That's
that
a subscription for every month, right?
right. And there's no contract, you can leave anytime.
Mm-hmm. And I can add any as many users as I want, right?
Yeah, and as many users, as many carriers as you want.
Perfect. So it's unlimited for $99 per month
Correct.
to use the whole turbo dispatcher.
The only thing that's not refundable is the setup fee. So it's basically let me see what let me just double check something. 74 minus 99. It's $75 setup
Mm-hmm.
fee, which is
Mm-hmm.
non-refundable. So basically
Perfect.
$75 plus 99 is 174
Mm-hmm.
because it takes us about an hour and 20 minutes to set up each platform because we have to
Mm-hmm.
do all the custom branding to your company on all the
Mm-hmm.
notifications that come out through the platform.
Perfect.
So, and you'll have your credit card authorization forms if you want to use that. If you take credit cards from customers, then
Mm.
you'll have that. That's at no charge. The carrier agreements, pre-book tracker, which we spoke about. There's also a cost per mile calculator, which is pretty handy. Let me see here. Cost per. A lot of carriers do not know what their break-even point is. Like, what do I need to make rate per mile to where I'm just breaking even? So the carrier has this cost per mile calculator on their side as well. Here's an example. Open this form. How many loaded miles this year? I mean, you have to have some existing data. The carrier would have to have that, fuel gallons this last year, price per gallon, all those things, right? Which will come to a cost per mile. So this carrier needs to break even at like $1.71 a mile, right? So that's pretty helpful.
Okay.
All right. I think we've kind of gone over most everything. Oh, here's the one other feature I want to show you. Sorry, JJ. We have a live capacity tracker, and this will be a link that'll be specific to your platform, which you can share to all the brokers you work with, right? And they're going to click on that link, and they're going to see this. They're going to see all the loads that you have actively moving in your platform that are in transit only, of course. It'll show the trailer type, the status, ETA of delivery, the reference ID, and of course, we can hide anything that you don't want them to see, but they won't see the carrier at all, right? But they'll see the original destination, the dispatcher who's working that load, so they can reach directly out to that dispatcher and say, "Hey, I see you have a flatbed delivering to this location. I have a load going out that day. What can you move it for?"
Right.
So, and then of course, all the pins on the map will show all your active in transit loads to the broker. So it's kind of like you posting loads on DAT or on DAT, but it's kind of more proactive because you can share this link to your favorite brokers. So they're calling you. It's better to have a phone call instead of having to sell.
Right. Perfect. This is really useful.
So yeah, and if there's some data points that you want to see, we can add that in for you. Maybe you have something very specific on your revenue matrix. Maybe there's some other data point you'd like to see. That's the beauty of what we do, is we can modify these things specifically for your company. All right. Was there anything else that you had questions about?
Nothing. It's really good. I think you have included everything in the Turbo Dispatcher. It's like a whole CRM for dispatcher.
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular. And here to manage, if you become a subscriber, you can go here to admin room, manage your subscription, give it a couple seconds, and then when this pops up, you put in the email address which you subscribe to, your admin email address, hit continue, and you can update your credit card or whatever you need to do. Cancel if you need to cancel, or whatever. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, Jay.
Yeah.
I think it's what we were looking for. Let me discuss it with my team, and I'll get back to you.
Yeah,
When
that's
we are,
fine.
buying it.
Okay. And what I'll do is when we get off the Zoom, I know this is being recorded, so it usually takes, probably 10 minutes or so for that to render in the cloud. And then I'll send you the link so you guys can view it, okay?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Jay.
All right, JJ, let me know if you have any questions. Just shoot us an email, okay?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, take care.
Take care. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.